We're having an English lesson now, and I hope you have a blast here today. Oh, and I really hope you have your notebook and a pen with you. If you only have a pencil, that's fine too. Let's get into it.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 709, 9 Ways to Use Have. For this English lesson, we're going to look at 9 different ways that we use the verb have. Have is one of those interesting words in English that has multiple meanings and uses, as well as a number of different grammar patterns. By the way, have is an irregular verb, and the 3 parts are have, had, and had. Let's get the ball rolling. First of all, we use have when we talk about possession and ownership. You have something. Someone has something. I have 2 dogs. You'll notice that even though I'm talking about right now, I'm not using have in the progressive form. I can say I have a dog, but not I'm having a dog. That's the basic usage of have. Let's look at some other examples. A friend of mine has a summer house in the countryside. Jen has a dog, but Kate has a cat. Do you have an iPhone or a Galaxy? Next, you can use have when you talk about relationships between people. Someone has a brother or a sister. You have friends and coworkers, and so on. Here are some other examples. Ted has 2 older brothers. I heard Kevin has a new girlfriend. Kim and her husband have a big family. We also use have when we talk about health issues. You can have a headache, have pain, have a fever, and so on. For example, I had a hangover this morning. Mom has a headache, so she's taking a nap. Vito has a cold, so he's not coming to the party. We can also use have when we talk about hosting an event, like have a party or have a meeting. Here are some examples. We're having a birthday party for Jane. Can you come? They are having a shareholders meeting in the conference room. They usually have Comic-Con at the Javits Center in New York City. Next, let's talk about some grammar patterns with have. You can use have followed by an adjective to describe your experience. You can have fun, have a nice time, and have a blast. That's an idiom which means you really enjoy yourself. Here are some examples. I had a blast at the party last night. Did you have fun on your vacation? Ted said he had a tough time preparing for the workshop. The next grammar pattern is have to. When you talk about obligations, the pattern is have to followed by a verb, and the usual pronunciation is have to. Have to. I have to work. I have to clean the house. I have to go. Here are some other examples. I have to work on Sundays. Do you have to work late tonight? What do you have to do next weekend? Next, you can use have followed by an object followed by a gerund. Someone has someone doing something, like this. The boss had us working late last night. You can also say that someone has something doing, like this. The mechanic had my car running smoothly in about 20 minutes. Here are some other examples. Jack is so funny, he had all of us laughing hard at the party. Amanda's mom had all of the girls working hard in the kitchen, helping her bake cookies. Another form of the causative with have is have followed by an object followed by a past participle verb. We use this grammar to talk about asking someone to do something for you or arranging for something to get done. You can say things like, I need to have my hair cut. I had my car washed. We are going to have the house painted. I talked about all of the causative forms of have in episode 706 a few weeks ago, so check out that episode to learn more. And finally, we use have in conditional sentences with if. Here are some examples of that. If I lived in a house, I would have a big dog like a German Shepherd. If I had had more time, I would have studied more for the exam. Keep in mind, the best way to remember this and any other grammar pattern is to take the word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. Oh no! Don't we have any more time for this lesson? I guess not. By the way, if you'd like to get more practice using your English, why don't you join my Podcast Learners Study Group? There, you can make new friends, join us for live group coaching every week, plus get the PDF transcript and audio download for every Happy English podcast in the past and in the future. And each episode has exercises where you can practice this English point with speaking and writing checked by me. To learn more, or to see some of the example sentences from this lesson, just visit myhappyenglish.com and choose Podcast Lesson 709. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.